How's it going, guys? Welcome to Gabe's Reef. And everything's been doing pretty good. None of the levels are high. Everything's great. The fish are doing great. The plants are doing great. I have a little bit of hair algae, which I'm going to be taking care of. I actually don't have a scraper. I have a magnetic cleaner, glass cleaner, and a little brush. But some of these algae areas through here just needs a scraper. I already ordered one. It'll be here Monday. So I'm gonna scrape it. Also comes with a gravel rake. I also bought a pair of long steel tweezers that close all the way tight. The little grabbers I have is mainly for grabbing like bigger objects. So I'm gonna pluck and clean all this algae hair. I'm gonna brush the top of these rocks again, scrape the windows, so it'll be more show ready, honestly. This one actually keeps moving on me. It moved around a little bit, trying to feel out different spots, I guess. But as long as it stays away from my coral and my bubble anemone, I'm fine. There's my little mushroom. He's doing pretty well. My leather mushroom's doing good. My leather tree's doing really well. My candies is doing great. And the newest addition is Scooter. It just said Scooter by his name. I think it's a sand sifting goby, I'm pretty sure. He's called a Scooter. I do have a Mandarin Dragonette down here. All of them should get along just fine. Actually, my Danzel, yellowtail Danzel, and the clownfish get along just fine. They kind of have their own little areas they hang out in. But when they're around each other, they're not too aggressive. There is one of my... He got a really big shell. It's hilarious. He's so little and such a huge shell. There's plenty of shells. Make sure you have plenty of shells in there for him. The candies are doing well. They seem like they're opening up. Everything's just doing really well. Fortunately, when this fell before, it was so closed up I couldn't tell. And it was some white at the bottom too. I wasn't sure which way he was gonna open up, and of course, he opened up away from the way I wanted him facing. But he is beautiful. He is wide open, just looking good. The leather tree's looking good. The polyps are looking good. I was just terrible with names. I'm trying to learn all their names and everything. I'm just terrible with that, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's the bandit shrimp. He's already molted. Wow. Snappy little guy. He's already molted. My horseshoe crab you're not gonna find. He's buried, I guarantee it. Oh, is that him? No, he is buried. I mean, I have a good almost 2 inches of sand, because the aquarium glass does go all the way to the bottom right here. So I have at least 1.5 inches. Some areas might have 2, but probably about an inch and a half of sand at least, so he can easily hide. They're starting to get some color on some of my hermit shells. Are starting to get some nice cultured coloring on it. The rocks are starting to get cultured coloring. I put this one rock and a couple corals. Is going to help out a lot, especially when I got that mushroom with that rock right there. It has a lot of different color cultures on it. It's all going to culture and kind of grow. There's my emerald crab. He likes to hang out with anemones, which is fine, I guess, because I do feed them shrimp, and he probably gets the leftovers. So you gotta watch that. This little bandit shrimp likes to run up on my my anemone and kind of take the shrimp out of its mouth, so to speak, or tentacles. So you gotta kind of watch that. They're kind of looking around like, who is this guy? They kind of see him in the bag. So it's really, the tank's a little dirty, but the water qualities are just beautiful. I have the main not the power head, but the pump return right there. It's pointed kind of up to cause a rippling effect in the water, which you want. And then my power head kind of is angled down, and it kind of turns the circulation around to the two inlets, inner, lower inlet, upper inlet. So it works really well the way I have it set up. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to clean it because it needs it. But besides that, just do a water change once a week and I'll be fine. The only thing is I don't have a refugium. So as far as I would like to have a refugium with tiger pods in it, and then some kind of algae, I'm I'm not sure what kind I want yet, but I would like to do refugium. If anyone has a suggestion of a size refugium I could fit, this cabinet is kind of big. I do want the space for these products. I could kind of figure out a way to fit it all, or maybe keep some of the stuff somewhere else in a tub or something. I wouldn't mind putting a small, little 5-gallon or 4-gallon, I don't know what brand you guys would recommend, a little refugium in there, set up a light. I have to do some kind of a way to hook up the inlet and outlets for the refugium. I mean, it does have kind of a big hole right there, so I guess it would fit and it would work. I'm sure I can make it work. As far as the lighting goes, these LEDs are pretty decent. What I do is I run the there, you can kind of see through that bag, maybe the reflection through the bag. I run the blue and the whites at the same time. So I start out with a light blue, like a sunrise, like a moonrise, from 6 a.m. to about 8 or 9, about 9ish or so, and then my high intensity lights kind of sunrise between like 7:30 and 8 or whatever, and then it's high intensity light like this with the moonlight at the same time for about an 8-hour period, and then it goes back to moonlight and then dims to night, which is probably around 7 or 8, not sure exactly, but I've been running about 8 hours of light, of high intensity light, and then a couple more hours, maybe an hour or two, a couple more hours of blue light. But the blue light, when I run it, it's really low setting. It's not the high setting like it is during the day intensity. It's towards the end of it, so it's really dim. It's not really bright, just to kind of wind things down. The reason I have the moonlight come up so early is that's when I go to work, so I want to feed them in the morning. I want to make sure they all get fed in the morning, and then I want to basically let them go most of the day, and then maybe a little bit more in the evening when I get home, because I do get, I leave at 6, and I get home anywhere from, as early as 1 o'clock and as late as 7, 8 o'clock. So there's no set schedule on feeding besides the morning. I feed a flake in the morning and some of the pellets, small spectrum pellets. But the thing is, I think you're only supposed to feed like once a day. Some people feed even once every day or even 2. So I'm a little bit heavy on the end, as long as I got good. That's why I have so much filtration. I have the carbon filter, that's the top layer. I have the some ceramic balls, basically for the bacteria, but really don't need them since I have so much live rock. I just kind of temporarily threw those in there for now. And then I also have another carbon bag, a really big one, that's supposed to be good for 1 to 3 months, depending how you run it and set it up. Especially with this much algae, I probably only get about a month out of it. And then I have some of that black foam filter. I have a big chunk of that. And then there's another one that separates the chamber 2 and 3. So that's all the filtration I have. Whoops, almost knocked over my Tigger pods accidentally. Here's the bottle of Tigger pods I bought. These are expensive. What you want to do is take the cap off. See how active they are? And you want to let it get to room temperature before you dump it in there so they're not shocked. Plus, you also want to turn off the pumps so that most of them get a chance to hide. That way they can kind of reproduce, and then the mandarin kind of hunt them. The clownfish are going to eat some. The damsel's going to eat some. The shrimp, or whoever can catch them is going to eat some. So just kind of watch that. He's kind of looking around. He's so cute. He's a little scooter. He was only $12. That's why I purchased him. Honestly, I didn't want more than 4 fish total, but now I have 5. Everybody else is a cleanup crew. I kind of don't consider him a fish because he's a sand sifting goby, pretty much, or similar to a scooter. So he'll sift the sand and pick, leftover food. So he'll help out with some of the cleanup, and then I think that's it on today's video. I tend to drag him out a little long. I apologize. Let me check the temperature. I did have to adjust a little bit. I don't know if it was due to my protein skimmer. Right now we're at 77-ish. I want it between 78 and 80. So I don't know what it is with my, it is a little cold outside. The temperature doesn't vary that much in my house, I don't think. I don't know if there's a little draft from the window right there coming in or what. I'm gonna have to turn it another tiny little bit, and it just kind of, I don't want it to fluctuate more than a degree or two per day. I'll kind of watch it. Maybe I'll wait till the evening, see if it comes back up. If not, I'll have to turn it a little bit. But I want it close to 80, about 78 at the lowest, and at the highest 80. So just no more than a degree or two variation, hopefully, if everything's running right. Timer's been running perfect, flawlessly. I did take that protective layer on. That's LED backlit. That's working perfect. My LED lights work perfect on schedule. I think they're kind of hungry because they keep going to the top when I make noises. I'm going to give him a little bit, considering that he's getting in the tank as well. So make sure a couple pellets reach down to him. Make sure he can eat. The Tigger pods are going in, so he's probably going to eat some of those. I am going to continuously put those in. This is approaching week 6, about 5.5 or so. And so far, I've added 3 bottles of these Tigger pods. Now, on the bottle, it doesn't give an exact number. It gives an estimate. So, 250 to 1,700 microns Tigger pods. So, that's a very large, a very big window of estimation between. So, you kind of see him going up on there hunting. I love that fish. And the clownfish are kind of have their own personalities. Just this tank's really enjoyable. It is expensive right now with the Tigger pods, chemicals, foods, testing. I mean, a lot of testing. I mean, that thing is full of testing. I added extras. Cleanup, coral roids. That goes with the chemicals and foods. The putty for the, keep the corals, the ones I had to put a little bit to keep them. Well, I actually put too much. That was one of the issues. Refractometer, just everything. Stand, fish, everything. Live rock. I'm looking at least $1,300. So this is not a cheap hobby, to say the least. Yeah, I probably have more money in, the drones and RC channel, but I really enjoy this. This is kind of a year-round hobby. The other ones, when it gets cold out, kind of sucks, and you tend not to do it as much. All in all, I love the hobby. I apologize about the glass. You can see his little flippers, where he's kind of like walking, kind of waddling with his little fins. It's funny, they're kind of everywhere. He's got little footprints everywhere where he goes. It's so cute, but the glass is dirty. I do apologize about that, and the algae hair. All this will be gone when I get my scraper and my rake. I'll make sure I get rid of it. I'll kind of rake it and even out my gravel. Kind of see if I can see the horseshoe crab. If I do, I'll do a video for you guys. But yeah, look, they're kind of investigating that for a minute there. The flow is perfect. That is a 528 gallon power head, and then the pump itself is about 260-ish, about 268, I think, and that's about 528. So between those two, it has plenty of flow. I did actually purchase another 200-something gallon power head, but it was too much. They were having a hard time swimming. They had to fight it constantly. You can tell they were not happy. And everything was almost blowing too much. You can see the flow right there. See how that's moving? Could maybe move a little bit more. I could turn it slightly. I didn't want to directly blow on this area. I kind of wanted it to come around, because, this soft coral is moving. So flow gets everywhere. Even, the hair on the bottom right here is flowing. The tentacles of the sabi, I don't know, S-U-B-E-E or something weird like that. What's it called? Anemone. It has purple little tips. He hasn't stung anything yet. I don't think any of my enemies have stung anything yet. Everything looks good. He got kind of close to this mushroom, this leather mushroom right here. He got kind of close to that. I don't know if it's a leather mushroom, but it's a mushroom. I tend to call it leather. That's more like the leather type right there. That's a leather tree. But I'm terrible with names, and that's just a plain mushroom back there. I'm terrible with names. If you guys know any of the names and want to correct me, I'm not going to get upset. I'm terrible with names. My main goal is to clean it up this week. I just wanted everything healthy and happy. I wasn't sitting there keep bothering and scrubbing and moving stuff around and trying to adjust everything. It can get to the show point, but right now I mainly want the bacteria built up, which I accomplished obviously because everything's doing well. I wanted my levels good, so you know, I'm having a little bit of a battle with algae, but that's just because it's warm. You know, there's plenty of nutrition in the water, so algae's gonna grow, and it gets plenty of light. So I may tone down the light a little bit. I know everyone's gonna suggest that. I'm probably gonna do it. The light's actually helping my corals a lot. They look good, so none of them look burnt. You know, when you're getting too much light, they all look really, really good. So I really don't want to change my lighting schedule. Once I get that scraper and I just scrape it every day or every other day or every couple days, I should be able to keep up with it. Also raking the gravel and then using those metal steel tongs, just kind of ripping up all this little hair algae. So it won't be so bad. I'm going to definitely do a video after Monday when I receive the products to kind of do a review on them. I'm going to test out different products as well, seeing which is better. I'll buy more expensive, you know, a scraper, buy a cheaper one, let you know which one's better. This magnet so far has performed well. Right there, I got that off of Amazon. It does not have a scraper attachment on it. A lot of them do. They don't. I think if you want a scraper, just get one with a handle that you can really, you know, be careful. I recommend using plastic scrapers. You know, razor scrapers can scratch your tank, so be careful with that. I'm not sure exactly what material. This almost doesn't feel like a glass, almost feels acrylic, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll do a little bit more research on this Coral Life 32 BioCube tank. But I think that's it. So there he is right there. Beautiful fish. Look at him. He is excited. I wanted to make sure I definitely have him in there for the time required to adapt to the water. You want to do a minimum of 15 minutes. I'll probably have him in about 20, 25, plus a 10-minute ride. So I'm thinking I'm going to get him out of there. You don't want him in those bags more than an hour due to oxygen, stress, and everything else. So I think I'm going to, you know, dump the water out. And you know, I'm not going to dip the fish. I haven't dipped any of the fish. I haven't seen any ick or anything to make me dip the fish. I am going to start dipping my corals. I probably should have done those, but I did not. In the future, any frags or anything I'm definitely going to probably dip. I'll kind of keep my eye out on the corals, see if I see anything. I did get live rock from another aquarium shop, and they kind of had it no lighting situation where it was being filtered, so it has plenty of good bacteria. So I'm hoping I didn't get any any hitchhikers so far. I only see a little bit of that red algae right there, or that could be just cultured, and then this little mushroom right here. So oh no, actually that's coral. That is, I always thought it was a mushroom, but the way the little tips on the end is, that's actually coral. So that will that reminds me of not a polyp. What is that? Is that a polyp? No, that's a form of polyp. I forget what that was called. Not strawberry, but it was a certain polyp. So I think that's coral. So we'll just let that grow, see how that does. So far it's doing good. I guess it's getting plenty of light and flow. I am gonna check my calcium. I checked my calcium's pretty high because I hadn't had anything really to drain, you know, consume the calcium. So my calcium's high. I haven't tested my alkalinity yet. That was pretty high up there. Like not high, like bad, but like, you know, normal levels. So it was the calcium. I need to check for magnesium, was I think the only test I didn't do. And then I need to start doing the iodine, start applying some iodine. I need to start, you know, doing a schedule with that dosing. So I'm going to get into that, try to do a video for you guys and kind of, you know, learn with you guys and kind of experience it, comments on stuff like that. There'll be a separate video for that. So I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and watching this video, and we're going to release this little guy, and I'll do an update later on. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.